What's up, Kyle?
We making it over that hump.
You love hump day. It amazes me.
Wait a minute. I talk about, Turnip Tuesday that Brad thought was a plant or vegetable. And today we just getting over the hump. That's all. I didn't say anything else, but just getting over the hump.
I know. I try not to go through my days of all right, it's Monday, all right, it's Tuesday, or it's Wednesday, right? If you start thinking like that, you already lost. The week's already got you beat. If you're like, oh, I got to the hump.
Do I not seem more upbeat Wednesday and Thursday than I do on Monday?
It makes me worried. Yeah, it does. It does depend on the result of the Green Bay Packers games. It makes me worry that if Monday and Tuesday are that bad for Kyle, and he's this smiley on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, how do we make Mondays and Tuesdays better for you? Or is there nothing we can do?
Because the work week starts on a Monday after having a nice weekend, it's never fun. It's never fun having to interrupt the relaxation of not having to do anything with work, regardless of how fun work is. Like waking up and being somewhere all day is not fun.
I will say it does feel like, regardless of how much you like your job or not, I do think a 3-day weekend, that would be really, not saying that, I'm not saying that I wish that we only worked for 3 days off.
Unbelievable. No, that's Brad Norton, 6-time, 6-year NFL punter. Just started here 2 months ago.
Yeah, I worked
in the NFL, got a real big boy job in finance and investment banking, and it's like, you know what, forget that. I like being on the radio for 3 hours. And now it's like, you know what, I only like being on the radio for 3 hours for 4 days. I need a 3-day weekend.
This is what Ben does. He doesn't let me finish my take. He interrupted me literally right in the middle of my delivery.
That is true.
Not that I'm not saying that I wish that there was only 4 work days and 3 on the weekend. I'm saying I love my 5-day work week with KBN and our radio show. I just wish there was 3 weekend days. If we have an 8-day week, now that would be perfect. I love working 5 days, but give me 3 days on the weekend.
He's literally changing the calendar.
I am reinventing the work.
No, Brad,
it's not possible.
You're giving yourself more time off.
Don't let him persuade you. Keep it funky. You would prefer working 4 days a week, and here's the thing: you're like a Gen Zer, and I am too now. I prefer working 4 days a week too.
No, you're saying it. You're saying it without saying it.
No. It's less about the work week and more about the weekend.
Yeah,
right. Because the weekend. I feel like there should be a day for one of each of these. There should be a day to enjoy yourself. There should be a day to rest. And there should be a day to get some stuff done. You can't possibly do all 3 when you only have 2 days.
Well, then let's just, instead of trying to add, I don't know, 50-some-odd days, 52 to be exact days to the calendar to get us to 400 days in a year.
It's going to mess up the sun's rotation and everything.
Hey, I'm not saying it's possible. I'm just saying I wish that was the case. I love working 5 days a week. I just wish there was 3 days.
Sure don't sound like it.
Who says that? I love working. Okay, where are you going?
Am I saying anything negative about working?
No.
I'm not like Kyle who wants to get through the work week.
Yeah, you know what? If I decide with somebody, I'm going to side with neither of you right now because Kyle's like, Monday and Tuesday stink, Brad. I need an extra day on the weekend. Man, you guys need to grow.
Turn that down?
You guys need to grow the hell
Ben,
up.
You would turn that down.
I mean,
exactly.
I would for the world. I just feel like we would throw this whole world off if we added 52 days to this the calendar.
And you're trying. I can't answer his because it's so unrealistic.
It is. It is. It's
there are countries that do the 4-day work week and the 3-day weekend.
We're talking theory.
No, we're not talking about. You're talking theory. I'm talking reality. You can do a 4-day work week. You can.
And I don't want that though.
What if you work 10 hours a day?
To do to push it all into one? We can't do that because we got to be committed to our KBN Nation.
No, we can.
They need us 5 days a week.
Okay, that's true. How about this? I would just do the show and then then Friday I just come in and do the show and I'm done.
Yeah, but again, you're still coming into work.
I'll do it
work.
remote.
If this is a vacation for you guys, then let me know.
It is. I love this. And here's my thing: is Brad over here talking about, I love my show. Meanwhile, Brad taking all these vacation days coming up here, and Ben, I just found out the reason why he's not taking vacation is because he already took all his vacation prior to this. He took all his vacation in the first 6 months of the year, so he can't take them in the last 6. That's what I found out.
Appleman in the Orchard chimes in. Would you rather work 7 days a week for 8 months and get 4 months off?
No.
Ooh.
No.
Grind now, shine later?
There was something that was kind of the NFL calendar, and I kind of liked it. It was kind of nice to grind out. No, it was. It was.
No. Y'all had Monday. You had Tuesdays off.
Went in every day.
You had travel on Saturdays. Then you had home.
I went in, and most guys go into the stadium every day. Every day.
The best
except for
job
the
in the NFL is being a specialist.
That's 100% true.
I mean, it is 110% true. He's like for 8 months
true.
of the year, I had to come there, kick some balls, run some laps, and then I had 4 more months off.
4 months off to do something that easy. I mean, but it's not easy. It's a difficult task, but
simple but not easy.
Yes, simple but not easy. I like that.
Yeah.
No, but give me my 4-day work week. Yeah, so I have no shame in saying I prefer to work 4 days a week. I mean, it is what it is. Mondays are not the best. I prefer to have a 3-day work week. It always seems like I'm more refreshed when I only have to work for 4 days.
Well, I mean, that's natural.
I wouldn't mind seeing you guys 1 day less.
Really?
The truth is coming out.
What do you? So y'all,
I thought Brad wanted to work less, but really it's you.
Listen, y'all ain't never text me to hang on the weekends. What's going on here?
We spend a lot of time together.
I'm pretty sure I got you tickets to a Badger football game.
And you didn't spend time with me.
I already had plans.
Ben barely even said hi to me at the Wisconsin College game day tailgate. His brother, I hung out with his brother more than I hung out with him. He was too busy occupied with who the hell knows who.
Ben is like I'm going to go talk to all those other people kind of guy at the tailgate.
It's
hard to get a word in
I get
Ben.
to see you guys all the time. I don't get to see everyone I get to see in Madison.
Yeah,
we just know who you're obligated to be with us.
Exactly.
And then when it's voluntary,
is this a therapy session right now?
No, not there. Because honestly, I don't want to hang out with y'all on the weekend anyways.
Why? I will say
I prefer.
No. I actually I'm genuinely curious. Am I someone that you would want to hang out with or not want to hang out with based off our relationship thus far?
We talked about this last week when we did the whole trip to Craig Council Trader Park there in Whitefish Bay. I like you, Ben, but I just don't feel like on the weekends, we can have a good time, but no.
Just tell me why.
I feel like you do things your way, and I feel like you want them doing your way. You want to do hey, we're gonna do this. Or, we had a game night, right? We hung out, or we were gonna hang out at night. Ben would have a game that he would want to play and expect everybody to want to play it and do this. And I'm just like, hey, I just want to sit here and chill and watch TV or drink a beer.
Or I feel like if we made plans at 7, but I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be there at 7:30. I feel like Ben would say, don't come. If you can't get here in time.
That'd be even better. That'd be 30 more minutes for me to have a drink before we get there.
All right, see, no, but I think you're a good time, but I feel like you might have too much energy for me. I gotta be turned up to want to hang out with you on the weekend.
I will say this though,
you think I'm just this high energy? I can sit on the couch with the best of them. With the best of them. I mean, you know what? All right, it's settled. We're doing a hangout at my house. No, there's you can't say no to that.
It's the holiday season. I got a lot of stuff going on the weekend.
When there's not a Packers home game in which we have a great broadcast.
You're interrupting my weekend.
Oh my gosh, that's the point.
I will say
I got 3 TVs in the basement, a 75-incher, a 65-incher, Sunday NFL ticket for the 4-box screen, the Packer game on one TV.
Controlling.
He didn't ask us.
This is what we're gonna do.
What do you guys want to do?
We
said this is what we're gonna do.
We're gonna watch football on this day.
How does that not sound great? You said you want to chill. I'm gonna give you every football game imaginable to sit there, drink as many beers as possible.
Okay.
At your own pace. Yeah. I won't bother you. You don't have to talk to me. You can talk to me if you want to.
Yeah, okay. You dictated what we're doing. Fantastic. Great. Cool.
Richard Pecker in Spread Eagle. Love Rich in Spread Eagle. Love Spread Eagle, Wisconsin. Great place. Ben seems like a multi-screen guy. One for gaming, one for watching sports. Yeah, I mean, three-screen guy. Cody from Colgate chimes in. Kyle's going to quit the show after he has to hang out with Ben. Maybe that was my plan, Cody. Maybe that was my plan. No, I'm offended.
Why?
Because you are making assumptions about me, and that's where I think look, Ben's gonna have to do it this way, this way, this way. Why don't you come over on a football Sunday and we can hang out and watch football? We're in the same fantasy football league. We can track our guys together. We're boys.
I mean, and then also on Sundays, when you guys text on Sundays during games, I don't respond.
I don't respond.
I don't, because the last thing I want to do is have people texting me during the Packer game when I'm
I literally had to tell Brad we have to just text each other directly because Kyle doesn't want to text with us on the weekend.
I like to read it. It's just during the Packer game, I choose not to respond because most of the time it's not positive about the Packers.
Greg in the 262 chimes in, 800-990-3776. Hey, Newman. It's my favorite bit of the show right now. Him calling Brad Nortman Newman is the best. If you had an extra day, would you take a car repair class since you're too cheap to buy a new car? By the way, I have a 92 Buick for $1,000. I think even somehow you could come up with that, no?
It's a Buick. They run forever.
Who's this guy?
Greg in the 262. He's your number one fan.
Oh, wow. It's scathing.
Yeah, I know,
scathing
right?
text
You
in there. I don't know what
gonna
I did
cook
to
my guy
Greg. Jeez. And no, I'm not going to take a mechanics class.
So will you hang out with me?
I'll hang out with you, Ben.
See, that was a pity
I'll
answer.
hang out with you. No, I mean, it's. I'll hang out with you. What do you want from me? What do you want me to say?
Yeah, like I think it'd be a great time. It sounds like you got a great setup in the basement. You know, the 4-screen YouTube
it's
TV.
Way to the highway, but even my response, even my RSVP has to be how he wants
bets
it.
and all this. Let's just place bets. Like, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I just, I just like to relax.
So you're saying I'm too stressful for you?
I like to beat to my own drum. I just feel like sometimes when you hang out with certain people, you have to kind of do what they want to do, and that's okay. It's okay. Like, I like you, and I think you're like. I would prefer.
It's not you.
I don't think he does.
You guys. I don't think he likes me.
No.
He's doing that. It's not you. He's breaking up.
You're saying it too much.
He's breaking up with me. It's not you. It's me.
This is what I would do with Ben. If we would go to like a club or a bar where we're getting lit. It's a group of people. We having a good time. We partying. I'll be all for it. But like,
I love how you think I'm like this club partier guy.
I actually don't see him as that guy.
I'm not that guy.
He goes to Vegas multiple times and spends money. He has a good time. He knows how to have a good time, and I want to have a good time with him.
But you don't want to hang out on the couch with me.
I mean, then we got to have a conversation and talk.
Have a conversation.
Maybe I'm anti-social. Maybe it's me. It's me.
What's the better time with you? The chill version of Ben or the hyped up version of Ben? The chill on the couch, like which one's better? Like if you said, okay, we have one shot to hang out with
that's a good question. Probably full go Ben is going to be the most fun for you guys because Kyle, he's got a good read on me right now because I got the Sunday figured out, right? Like it's, hey, you're gonna come over, I'm gonna have chili made up, chili's gonna be served nice and hot. Kyle doesn't like when
the menu.
He doesn't like when people make food.
But you're saying that's not even the best version of Ben for like
others. Definitely not.
Yeah, see, I want the fun version. And no offense to Brad, I think Brad is a very nice guy. Very, very nice guy.
This
no
is
offense to Brad, but
we know what I would do with Brad. I would double date with Brad. Like, I want a double date.
Why? Yeah, we would double date with you.
Now you're disrespecting my girlfriend.
Listen, I'm going to double date with her. I would do a double date with you too. It's just the conversation. I feel like the conversation might be different.
This sounds like you have.
I can't go to a restaurant. We see Jordan Love, and all of a sudden we talk about whether or not we're gonna go mess with Jordan Love. DJ Brothers, he saw Jordan Love out at the Sophie a couple of days ago at a bar here in Milwaukee on Monday. He went up there, shook up with him, and just said his piece and moved on. I don't feel like I want to, go up to him and have a conversation about what should we do for a show bid or should we do something. I want to leave people alone.
Yeah, maybe we aren't meant to hang out together on the weekends. 800-990-3776.
Like you,
no, you don't. Who wins next? The Wisconsin Badgers or the Green Bay Packers? An acceptable answer that I usually don't give is neither. If you think the Packers lose out or the Badgers lose out, those are acceptable answers because I have no faith in our football teams. I have no faith in a lot of the sports teams. That's why we're going to do a State of the Union this week. We're going to hear from representatives of all the sports across the state of Wisconsin, and we are going to be hearing from you. Which team do you believe in the most? Because it's hard to have faith right now. It is hard to have faith. Who wins next? The Wisconsin Badgers or the Green Bay Packers? 800-990-3776. Every time Kyle said he likes me, it just felt like it was a knife turning through my heart.
I genuinely do.
You said it too much.
I like you too,
now.
Brad.
Don't put me into that now. It's like the opposite. It's
I like
inverted.
everybody here. Like, I don't force myself to be here every day to work with you too.
We like you too, Kyle.
Don't speak for me.
I like you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Make plans today to get out and see Homer broadcasting live from Robert Hack Diamond in Brookfield.
Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home. Roofing, windows, gutters, siding, and decks. Can Legacy do it? You bet. Better prices, better warranties. Legacy always makes it easy. Go to legacy-exteriors.com. Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone, let us leave a legacy on your home.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. So minivans, sedans, JDMs, roll out. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. And with eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Free Food Friday on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Vintage Brewing Company. Whether you are looking to get carry-out, delivery, or dine-in, Vintage Brewing has lots of great options on their menu. Vintage Brewing Company prides themselves on being a great place to hang out and enjoy classic Midwestern hospitality. Vintage Brewing Company has multiple award-winning beers, so be sure to try one the next time you're in. Head to VintageBrewingCompany.com to make a reservation today.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Santa's back. Back again. Santa's back.
That's not a Christmas song, Dad.
That's true, Sid, but I'm celebrating our ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringle's Jingle for Your Kringle contest on Wilde and Tausch, where you could win Kringle for a year. It's back for another year.
Can I enter?
Sure, anyone can. All you have to do is submit your own original jingle to celebrate the holidays and Racine Danish Kringle to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Then we'll pick the most creative songs, and our grand prize winner will get Kringle for a year. There's only one requirement. Make sure you include Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition in your jingle. Or if you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with the Racine Danish Kringle, call 800-4DANISH or visit Kringle.com and order their all-new Holiday Stick Sampler.
Sweet dreams of holiday Kringle, Mary Berry and apple, and lots of icing too.
Sid, what are you doing?
I'm working on my jingle. Kringle, I love you.
This is Kyle Broston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Who wins next, the Wisconsin Badger football team or the Green Bay Packers? That's what we're asking you. KBN Nation, Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Ben Brust alongside Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, and Chris Larson, homeboy Chris, running the show. 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. Streaming on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and finding us on Twitter at KBN ESPN. Who wins next, Brad? Wisconsin or the Packers?
The Wisconsin Badgers. They win this Saturday, and there's two reasons. It's going to be the Badgers winning. And it's also the window that they will win in, because I don't believe the Packers will win until December 11th when they face the New York Giants. So the Badgers have two opportunities to win before the Packers beat the Giants on December 11th. And I think that victory comes this weekend against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They win because there's more talent that they have in that locker room and on that team than they're putting on the field. They've shown they can hang with Ohio State. They can play.
3 weeks ago.
Still the same team, still the same guys. You got Mordecai back. You got Braylon Allen back.
Mordecai and everyone did really well against Northwestern.
That's true, and that was a wake-up call. I mean, they've already had many wake-up calls, but this is senior day, Ben. You know how emotional senior day is.
If you're not good, you're not good. It doesn't matter how emotional it is.
Cornhuskers are also not good. The Gophers are also not good. The Badgers are not good, but they are better than what they're putting on the field. They know they have 2 opportunities. There are guys that have NFL aspirations on that team. They got to show up and show that they're capable. Even if these guys are going into the transfer portal, they got to show that they're willing to or worthy of the transfer team that they're going to go to. So these are 2 big opportunities for them. They face opponents that are not better than them. The talent-wise, Nebraska Cornhuskers and the Minnesota Gophers are not better than them. So I say it's this weekend when the Badgers play a rebuilding Nebraska team. Defense is going to be
Nebraska's playing a rebuilding Wisconsin team.
That's also fair. The Nebraska offense is not good.
The Wisconsin offense is not good.
Okay, so it's a coin flip.
I'm just challenging right now.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm literally just saying like this is a tougher question than it seems because they could very well lose to Nebraska and Minnesota based off the track record of this team, based off the track record of how we're feeling after a loss to Northwestern, right? Like, yeah, like in one scenario, there is all right, we've hit rock bottom. It's time to figure out who's a part of this team moving forward. But there's also a give-up phase when you're on a team that is going through turmoil and you're getting called out by players. And Luke Fickell talked about how there's talent on this team to win, but they haven't done anything since he said that. And so I don't have a ton of belief in this team. If you want me to go, I'll answer. It's the Green Bay Packers. It is the Green Bay Packers. I can say with more confidence that the Green Bay Packers win before the Wisconsin Badgers. You know why? Because it is the NFL, and there is a ton of parity in the NFL. No matter who you play, right? The Packers have been in just about every single game this season.
The Packers are in favor of the next 3 games.
It doesn't matter.
So the Badgers lose out?
Yes. Until they give me a reason why they're going to win a game, I have no faith that they can put together 60 minutes in a football game and actually put a W on the board. The Packers have at least been in essentially every single game. And whether or not that is resulted in wins, they're giving me a better chance versus the Wisconsin Badgers right now. And so, again, with the NFL, these are professionals. This is a team that I'll take a page out of Kyle. They're trying to knock on the door of like trying to find a way to win. They've been in position to win with the ball, and Jordan Love's obviously turned it over. But sooner or later, I feel better about them breaking through if they're in a position to win versus the other team that's not in positions to win every freaking week because they make different mistakes. You don't know what side of the ball is going to be good. They're more inconsistent, and that's saying a lot in comparing them to a team that's 3-6 in the NFL that is also inconsistent on both sides of the ball.
I say give me the home favorite in the Wisconsin Badgers. They've played teams like this all throughout the year and beat them. I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment looking at the last 2 weeks, looking at Indiana and Northwestern. And yes, those were embarrassing
Illinois,
games.
they skated by.
They made plays when they needed to make plays. Don't get me wrong. I am low on the Badgers, but they did beat Illinois. They beat Rutgers. They beat Purdue. They hung in there with Ohio State. There is talent on the team. And look, I have been as hard on the Badgers as I have ever been, as more than any other team. I still believe they have enough talent to go out there on senior day. And I mean, in the trenches, they're better than Nebraska. And the quarterback, whoever you want to pick, Mordecai or Locke, they're better than the Nebraska quarterback. They have the guy, and they are at home. That should still mean something. On the field, you put them paper to paper, Wisconsin should win. That's why they're favored. Therefore, Badgers win before the Packers.
Kyle?
So I guess it all comes down to me to break the tie, huh?
I mean,
it's pressure.
Sure.
I mean, listen, the Packers will win a game. They will. But it won't be before the Badgers. Because here's my thing. I'm not going to sit here and act like Brad and act like I have a real reason. Because I have no reason other than the fact that I can't imagine this team that has gone to a bowl game every year since 2002, 21 consecutive bowl appearances, would not only miss out on a bowl appearance, but go ahead and lose 5 straight games to end their season. That would be unfathomable for me to be able to see that happen. So, that's why I'm saying the Badgers. I just think the Badgers find a way to win. I have no real reason.
Based on the last 4 weeks, how is that unfathomable? Other than just the history of the program.
I mean, they they played against Indiana, and though Indiana was up on them, they still had a chance against Indiana. Who knows if you don't let a play clock go down or your kicker's not hurt, who knows what happens in that game? Last week's game, I mean, they got out schemed, they got out planned, and they got out manned. It was ridiculous. And so this week against Nebraska, I mean, as Brad said, all these teams suck. It's not like Nebraska is significantly better than the Badgers or the Badgers significantly better than Nebraska. It's a toss-up. I don't know what to expect come this Saturday, so I'm just being very hopeful for the Badgers to actually come away with this victory. I can't give you any reason why. I can't say, we're going to give the ball to Braylon Allen, or, this air raid this dairy raid is really going to show up. I have no idea.
And that's exactly why I'm picking the Packers. Because if you have no idea in how they're going to get to a victory, it's because the team has told you they're not going to give you an idea. They don't have a blueprint. They don't have an identity of how they win football games.
But Nebraska is just as bad as Wisconsin. If we're in Nebraska doing this show, they'd be having the same conversation. Say, we don't know. Our only hope is the fact that maybe because Wisconsin hasn't played well, we'll be able to beat them. That is the only thing that we can come up with. It's not about how good you are. It's about how bad the other team is, that you just assume eventually something will all come together. I just can't see this team being
assuming things are going to come together is also a bad strategy. Hope is also a bad strategy.
But honestly, that's all you can do.
The difference between the Badgers and Nebraska, if we're going to get that granular, is Nebraska knows they're in a rebuild. Wisconsin's figuring out in the middle of the season. That's the harder part for me, is if you know you're in a rebuild, you're just going out there and playing whatever happens, happens. The Badgers have more pressure because they're trying to fight out of a hole and trying to continue to go to a bowl game since not break the streak since 2002. That's pressure on a team that hasn't been able to handle the pressure of just going to win games in the worst conference in all America of the Power 5 schools, the Big Ten freaking West. 800-990-3776. Who wins first, the Wisconsin Badger football team or the Green Bay Packers? And again, the Packers are consistent in the way that they have given us an opportunity to think like they have a chance outside of the Lions game. Outside of the Lions game, they've been in contention to win all of these games.
Are you? Oh, I thought you said that the Lions game coming up next, they have a chance.
No, I'm saying outside of that, they have. But like, I'll go as far as to say, although the Lions kick the crap out of the Packers, if the Packers do continue to look better against the Chargers, right? Like it's a short week. It's on Thanksgiving. Like there are variables there in which I could. It's not like the craziest.
No, you can't tell me that you think the Packers are going to beat the Lions more than you think the Badgers are going to beat the Huskers or the Gophers.
I'm like, the Chargers game is still in front of us here. I'm just saying it's not the craziest thing in the world to say that the Packers could beat the Lions. It's the NFL. We see stuff like this every single week in which you think, oh, that's a lock. Oh, that team's going to win. And a 9-point favorite team loses. Like, that's part of the NFL. It's called any given Sunday.
I don't.
And you guys are putting faith in a team. You guys are putting faith in a damn team that doesn't show up, that doesn't play with heart, that doesn't play with soul. You want to lay your wins on the line for the Badgers? Because why? Because you played there and because you have passion for them?
No, if you had to pick over the next 2 weeks, which games are more winnable? The Badger games are more winnable over the next 2 weeks. You just believe that the Badgers won't win, and the Packers have more games left to play. That's why they're going to win. But we're not talking about who can win.
The Badgers are favorites for a reason.
The Packers have been favored in games.
Not many.
Well, the Badgers were 11.5-point favorites against Northwestern and lost 24
but
10.
As the betting guy,
right.
Vegas knows and gets this right most of the time, and they're favorites for a reason. They have a better team. Look, they're not good. They are not good. Nebraska
favored against Indiana. Favored against Northwestern. Just because you're favored doesn't mean that Vegas knows. They're just trying to get the most money based off what people think, like you, because they're favored, they should win. There's no reason why the Badgers will win the next 2 games. There's no reason why.
Because they're a better team.
They're not. They suck.
They're
not good. They're not a better team. You can't tell me they're a better team than Nebraska.
But you can't say Nebraska's a better team than Wisconsin. And so okay, put your money where your mouth is. I ain't got no money. But let's say the next 2 games. Which team has a more likely chance to win the next 2 games? The Packers playing the Chargers and the Lions, or the Badgers playing Nebraska and at Minnesota?
The Packers. 100% the Packers.
No chance.
That's insanity.
That is insanity.
The Packers.
That is insane.
I'm going to trust it. I'm going to trust an NFL football team.
If you say that the Badgers are the same as Nebraska and Minnesota, right? They're all bad. The Packers are objectively worse than the Chargers and the Lions. Objectively worse. Less talent.
Sure.
No, yes, that ain't no sure. Stop it.
The Lions, yes, we can say that.
Chargers, yes,
The Chargers,
sure.
yes.
But
The Packers can't
talent
score
isn't
with the
everything.
Chargers.
Talent is not everything.
It goes a long way. It's a huge head start.
Sure, yeah,
If
and
you're
that's
making
why
bets-
the Chargers have won a playoff game in the last 3 years with all that talent.
But the Packers do not have nearly as much talent as the Chargers do. And listen, I told y'all this.
I didn't say they had more talent. I'm saying it doesn't matter as much as you're making it out to be.
There's
a reason why their coach is on the freaking hot seat.
There's no way that you can truly believe in your heart that the Packers have a better chance of winning their next two games, one of their next two games, more than the Badgers do against two very bad teams.
I do.
No, you don't.
I'm willing to put money behind it, but you two cheap asses won't put your arm out.
Look me in my eye and tell me you believe it.
I believe it. I believe the Packers have a better chance to win the next two games than the Badgers do. Okay, even though it's the Lions and the Chargers. You can look deep into my soul. You can look into my optic stems, as they say in Key and Peele.
Okay. All right. I mean, maybe we do need to put money on it.
I would love to.
How much?
What's your budget?
$5.
All right, that's no fun.
I'll do 5.
Might as well bet air.
I'll do 5.
Might as well just.
I'll do 1/10 of Christmas tree.
I'll go throw it on
Might
the
as well
table.
just bet air.
Money is real, buddy.
Yeah, I guess. Diana from Iguanago chimes in. It's interesting. She says, Ben, why are you being negative? I'm not. I'm literally putting more faith in the Green Bay Packers the next 2 weeks than the Badgers because the Packers have shown the ability to at least put themselves in a position to win games. The Badgers are not doing that on a consistent basis in the worst division in college football. Tell me I'm wrong.
The Badgers haven't been good. I will say that.
And
However,
now all of a sudden we magically hit the snap the fingers button because they play a bad opponent and think, oh, they can do it now.
But it's week by week as well. Just like the NFL, NCAA.
It's less week by week in college.
You
are
what
what
you tend to win. And like the teams that are favored tend to win. And the Badgers are one of those this weekend. And I think at some point, these coaches, these players, there's clearly issues going on for sure. But at some point, pride just takes over and just says like,
this team has shown no pride at all.
And at some point, that needs to kick in because you're
asking someone to do something that they haven't done all year, and that's where I just see.
Oh, they've won games.
They came out and responded.
They've won
against,
games. They beat the snot out of Rutgers.
Purdue.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And Purdue.
Wonderful.
What do you mean
the
wonderful?
worst team in the Big Ten West, Purdue.
Okay, Rutgers.
They stink too.
Oh,
we're gonna put our name on Rutgers. This is how far
we're gonna put our name on Nebraska. Nebraska Cornhuskers, really?
Yeah.
No, come on now.
That's where we're at. We're at the same level as them. So to act as if they're gonna find pride to beat Nebraska,
I'm not saying pride. I'm just saying they're gonna find a way to win. I mean, they just can't lose 5 games.
They can.
They can't.
You're acting as if it can't happen. It is a possibility that it happens.
I will not be able to emotionally handle 5 games in a row to end the season and knowing that's how the season ends.
I will say this,
that is too high on the negative
It's 2
note.
trophy games, even though the Nebraska trophy game is stupid.
The who? Freedom what?
The Freedom Trophy. 2 trophy games and for bowl eligibility. They have every reason to fight their tails off. And they have better rosters than both teams. Now, whether they actually deliver, that's a different question. But I still think that's a better chance than the Packers winning before the Packers win in December against the Giants.
And I say this all the time because, Minnesota fans, the Axe game meant everything. That was their national championship game for many years because they had nothing else to look forward to, and they lost that game. All of a sudden, I feel like a Minnesota Gophers fan because of the fact of this. This Axe game is what the season's about. I don't even care about the bowl game.
No.
I want to go to a bowl game. But, yes, we cannot go 3 straight years losing the Axe. There are guys on that team that are seniors that want to win that Axe back. And I'm just saying, this game all of a sudden becomes a bigger game because you're on the road and you want to win the Axe back. So I do think they'll have some juice to be able to try to bring that Axe back to Wisconsin. Come on now. That's what I'm hopeful for. And I'm
you guys are going to hate this take too, and I truly believe it. Like, part of me is rooting for them to lose these next 2 games so they can be completely exposed as to who they are as a program, as a team.
That.
You can't say that.
What do you mean?
It's one thing to give an opinion. It's another thing to want it. You want the Badgers to lose.
There's no good that comes out of the Badgers losing these next 2 games. Nothing.
Even financially for the school.
This is not about the NFL. You can find guys, draft guys. At college, you got to impress guys and recruit guys. And losing ain't impressive, buddy.
To me, finding out what is real about this team, weeding out all the bad, is the best thing that could possibly happen for this Badger program. Because right now, winning with this roster, winning with this coaching staff, it's not going to change the way I feel about heading into next season right now.
I'm a blood pressure.
800-990-3776. KBN Academy next.
This is Kyle Broston Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light.
Yeah, let them do it. I ain't doing it.
You're not going to hurt our feelings.
come on.
Just mine.
Homer, come on.
Yo, fuck, I should be doing this time. I should be 2-6. That good enough for you? You need any more?
That's fair, Don.
Need any Homer, one?
Us?
Yeah.
Y'all
2, 3, 4.
You're all the same.
There we
Nobody's as good as me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ben Bruss to tell you about one of my favorite teams in the area, Zimbrick European. For over 3 years, I've trusted them with my car buying process, and I'm never going anywhere else. From Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, their pre-owned and Sprinter vans, they have something for everyone. Don't drive something ordinary when you can drive something extraordinary. I love the sexiest car on the lot that I found this time, a nice Zimbrick Mercedes. Find what you love. Test drive, and they will make leasing affordable. Zimbrick European.
Hey everyone, Molly Brown here from ESPN Madison. For the best Southwestern food and margaritas in the Madison area, it's always Pasquale's Cantina for me. Whether I'm enjoying my favorite taco salad, their awesome chips and guac, or one of their famous burritos, Pasquale's is the best for authentic Southwestern fare. Plus, they have one of the largest tequila selections around. Visit one of their locations in Verona or Middleton today, or check out their menu and order online at PasqualesCantina.com.
Bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest. Pasquale's Cantina.
The first college football bowl game ever played in Wisconsin is back. The third annual Culver's Isthmus Bowl returns to Sun Prairie Saturday, November 18th at 2 p.m. Featuring teams from the WIAC and CCIW conferences, the Culver's Isthmus Bowl showcases some of the best Division III college football teams in the country. Listen live on 100.5 ESPN or visit isthmusbowl.com to purchase tickets and find more information. The Culver's Isthmus Bowl, Saturday, November 18th on 100.5 ESPN.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We can help you from the safety and comfort of your own home. Our virtual sign-up process is quick and easy. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
With the holiday season just around the corner, it's important to find that perfect gift for your loved one. Jim Rutledge here for Chalmers Jewelers, my go-to destination for holiday gifts. Their stunning jewelry never fails to impress, better yet, it's custom, made by the great jewelers at Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. So whether you want to treat someone special in your life or treat yourself, go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Big trailers and big opportunity. Since 1962, Stoughton Trailers has been a family-owned and operated business. With competitive wages and excellent benefits, plus growth and advancement opportunities, Stoughton Trailers is an exciting place to grow your career. Join the collaboration, innovation, and dynamic team atmosphere at Stoughton Trailers, with positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. Go to stojobs.com to apply today. Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to Kyle Broston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I get high on you.
Make sure you join the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow with free childcare with your membership. It's open 24/7, and they have something for everybody. I do the personal training with my guy, Maddie, and the club feels great from the moment you walk in to the moment you walk out. When you are in there and working out, you'll notice they're always upgrading the facilities, the equipment, so you never have to think, is there something better out there? There's not. There's the Princeton Club. With the 8 locations in Madison, the New Berlin location, don't wait. Join the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow. Ben Brust here alongside Kyle Wallace and Brad Nortman. Homeboy Chris running the show, 800-990-3776. I truly do believe in my heart of hearts that the Packers have a better chance to win in their next 2 games than the Wisconsin Badgers. When you suck that bad, like the Badgers do, I have no faith. When you are the Packers and consistently have put yourself at least in a position to win, they haven't broke through, but at least I have a chance to win a ball game. I don't care if it's Nebraska or Minnesota.
I'm glad you're coming around to my Packers.
In this scenario, absolutely.
You're coming around. That means there's a chance.
800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-3776. But right now, it's time to play a little KBN Academy.
In radio, our goal's pretty simple.
Just so you know, you really suck.
Have an A show or an F show.
Hey, I'll decide who sucks around here.
The same goes for topics in this next segment. This is the KBN Academy.
Those that can't do, teach.
It is the KBN Academy where Kyle forgot his cape, his master's degree cape from Central Michigan University. Brad Nortman also has a master's degree, and I just have a bachelor's degree, and I'm proud of it, so don't make fun of me. We are going to answer some questions and give A's or F's. There's no B's, C's, or D's, or anywhere else in between. And let's start here. A high school in Virginia won its first round of a playoff game last Friday, winning 104-0. It was 56-0 at the end of quarter 1, 84-0 at halftime, and then there was an opportunity to get to the century mark. Instead of taking a knee, they went for it. A or F, going for a touchdown to get you to 100 points is Bush League.
You know what? I'm going to go with an F. I think it's the job of the other team to stop them, right? I mean, if there's time on the clock, it would be honestly more embarrassing for me on the receiving end of that whooping for the team that I'm playing to be like, you know what? We pity you. We're going to go easy on you, and we're just going to slow it down, and we're not going to try our best. I guarantee at some point they started putting in their seconds, their thirds, their fourths, and if you still can't stop them, you can't stop them. So that is not Bush League to me.
Yeah, here's the thing. If it was college or pros, yeah, I'm good with it. But, I mean, when you're talking about...
You are a Gen Z.
No, you're talking about 1 and 9. I'm all about, like, listen, we're going to run up the score because you can't stop us. But in high school sports, sometimes, there is a huge difference in ability. If a really good big high school is in the first round taking on a school, I don't even know why a 1 and 9 team is in the first round of playoffs in the first place.
Because after COVID, they expanded everything to include more teams, so they just kept it that way.
It's not
That's
safe.
a bad decision.
Basically the reason why you have to qualify for the playoffs is a safety issue. You got a team that sucks now playing a number 1 seed, they're going to get destroyed. You got guys with going D1 on one team versus guys that barely know how to catch the football. It's just not safe. So that's actually, I'm gonna say that's an F. I don't like the word Bush League, but it's definitely not. It's not cool to run up the score on a team that's like, terrible in high school.
So the answer to this question is clearly A. You're up 84-0 at halftime. So clearly the 3s and 4s that Brad was talking about were in the game because they only scored like 20 points in a whole half. And so get to 100 points. Run it up, Herman. Leave no doubt. That's my guy, Coach Yost. And remember the Titans to Coach Boone. Run it up, baby. Run it up. I mean, again, like
this
Brad
team
said,
better win state.
That's good.
They better win state.
They better. But here's the thing, like Brad said, it's their job to stop them. What are we teaching the children if we say, you know what? Let's just lay down and fake run it and fall over. If anything, that's more demoralizing and more embarrassing that people are giving up and making you feel like you're nothing on the field.
Yeah, I agree.
I know you do.
You should just cancel the game then. Just cancel
you know what?
Just cancel it at halftime.
Yeah, at halftime it's done. Kyle, you can take your kid, go home, and spoon feed him ice cream.
They have running clocks, and they have running clocks for a reason here in Wisconsin because of the fact that it's obviously a safety issue. Y'all not worried about the kids. See, I'm worried about these kids being able to use their brains to go do something great because their legs.
Well,
and
if
their
they're worried about
ability
their
is
brains, maybe they shouldn't have started playing football.
I mean, they didn't know that they were going to have to play against this top team and get cracked and crushed. You guys got to be more thinking about
C.J. Stroud is having a spectacular rookie season, throwing for 2,600 yards, 15 touchdowns. Wow. Let's try this again. 2,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. A or F, you would take C.J. Stroud right now for the next 5 years, no questions asked.
My bad. I was just thinking.
I didn't even catch the lip snack.
Those were real smacks.
Okay,
those are serious snacks. No. No questions asked is confusing because I don't know what I'm starting with and who's on my team and what my window is. So knowing all of that, I would say no. He's not no questions asked unless – no, there's no questions asked. There's other good quarterbacks in the league, and depending on what the situation around this question is, I would rather take somebody else over C.J. Stroud.
Okay, here's the thing. If I had a chance to take C.J. Stroud, do you guys know what the Texans were last year?
3-13-1.
They weren't good. They were not good at all. And did you know who some of these receivers were? Or before the season started?
Robert Woods last year.
That's it, right? You didn't know who Noah Brown was? No, I'm taking C.J. Stroud. This guy is a talent. He is a superstar. You wish, everybody listening wishes that C.J. Stroud was a quarterback of the Green Bay Packers today. You would trade him in a heartbeat.
Over Jordan Love,
You would take him in a heartbeat. That's the difference that he's making. He is tremendous, and I would take him for the next 5 years, no questions asked. Get that boy to me, because the Texans all of a sudden look like a potential playoff team. They beat the Bengals in Cincinnati over Joe Burrow. Come on now. You got to give him his props and his credit for that.
Maybe that's why winning games might not be a good thing for the Green Bay Packers if Jordan Love is in the future, because if you land a C.J. Stroud and go 13-3-1, winning culture didn't seem to matter for the Texans, and I know that's what you want, a winning culture for Jordan Love, but if he's not the guy and you're losing a better draft pick, then you don't have an opportunity to do what the Houston Texans are doing. Did I sell you?
I told you, if they don't win any games, it's because Jordan Love isn't playing well, and they have to replace him.
The only reason why that's completely unfair is because you know the defense is a liability, and they will expose themselves against bad teams.
It's not the Aaron Rodgers
against
era.
good teams.
It's not the Aaron Rodgers era. We know Jordan Love is not going to sit here and play the next 8 games and be spectacular. They're going to lose games because Jordan Love didn't play good enough.
Yeah, that was a leading question there, just so I can get Kyle's opinion on C.J. Stroud to see if maybe he'd see the lights on, potentially having a better pick and how it might be helpful if Jordan Love isn't the guy. Because if they win a couple games and Jordan Love isn't the guy, then it's even harder to go draft a quarterback.
They're not going to win if Jordan Love doesn't play well.
But the problem is if they end up 6-11 and you're like, oh, is he the guy? Is he not the guy? Then you're just like, no strategy. All right, he's coming back. Let's hope he becomes the guy this year.
Yeah,
that is a scary proposition.
You're not in a position to go get the guy, and you don't know if you have the guy. It's a bad spot to be in.
I told y'all we will know. He's playing for his career here in Green Bay this season. We will know by week 17 whether he's a guy.
800-990-3776. Who wins first, the Green Bay Packers or the Wisconsin Badgers? Even if it's the next 2 games, I'm still taking the Packers over the Badgers. Badgers are doo-doo. They have no identity. They have no fight. They have no will. They have given me no reason to believe. We'll hear from you next.
This is Kyle Broston-Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light.
How are you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing great. We just got out of the Packers locker room, and the whole time, Ben, I'm thinking, God, I just want to get out of here so I can go talk to those guys at 3:30. I'd like Jordan Love, wrap this thing up. Let's get on with it.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. The Wisconsin football team, losers of 3 straight, now 5-5 on the season with 2 games remaining. The Badgers return to Camp Randall Stadium Saturday night against Nebraska for their home finale. Head coach Luke Fickell not reflecting on the previous 3 games.
The challenge has been, for our guys in particular, is how do we move forward and how do we move on? We don't have the old Men in Black little thing that we kind of zap and everybody can forget about it.
It's a 6:30 kickoff between the Cornhuskers and the Badgers this Saturday night.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin can dramatically help lower your energy costs year-round. No interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th. Visit PellaWI.com.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up.
How else to describe the otherwise indescribable, rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Car and Driver calls Honda the winningest brand in 10 Best history. Your kids will call it totally lit. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the Incredifantabulous deals, so see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Whether you're an artist playing accountant, a barista trying to be a bean counter, or a student just looking to get started, the UW Credit Union app lets you be free to be you, with free credit scores, free online bill pay, and the ability to send money to friends. Because with fewer fees, you can do more of what you love. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
You wanted them, you got them. Even more Black Friday Now deals at Fleet Farm. Save on delicious Bear Creek soup mixes, 3 for $9. Plus, take 20% off all Lego sets. Spend $100 on Under Armour, get a $30 Fleet Farm gift card free. And stock up on nut and berry bird food, 20 pounds for just $24.99. Shop Black Friday Now at Fleet Farm, home of everything you need for everyday life.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ezra from Port Washington chimes in 800-990-3776. I am baffled that Brad and Kyle have seen anything that makes them think the Badgers will beat Nebraska. Ben is right there. Billy from Tosa chimes in. If the Badgers win before the Packers, make Ben go on a date with his blow-up doll again. Yes, I have gone on a date with Judy.
You still have it.
She's in the garage.
I saw her little thing popping out from the back.
What little thing?
There's a little flat thing. I saw it poking out in the
when
back.
You say little thing, it makes it seem like it.
Oh no, she's all she. She's all she. I think. I don't know.
We actually, I mean, you don't know, but I know.
Oh.
Diana from Aguanago just says, "Listen to Kyle. He's always right." Sadler from Madison chimes in. Sounds like Benny needs to get his diploma from Wisconsin taken away from him. Earning in a bar near Elroy chimes in. I love listening to Kyle. Not going to read that one. And Derek from Wanakee just takes out Brad. He says, of course, a punter says that. So, again, I think a lot of reaction, negative or positive, towards me and Kyle and Brad.
Wow. KBN Nation just letting us have
divided.
Oh, wow.
Divided.
I just don't see what the whole Nebraska thing is. You say, okay, what have you seen from Wisconsin to make you think they can beat Nebraska? What has anybody seen from Nebraska to make you think you can beat Wisconsin? Like, you made a great point about the fact that they have nothing to play for with Nebraska. They're rebuilding. That was a great point. I give you kudos for that.
But, thanks, Kyle. I really needed your kudos point.
No, you did. You did. I like you, so I wanted to give you some kudos.
Every time he says I like you, it makes me feel like he hates me even more. It's like I like you. It's like he's like patting me on the head, and like I'm gonna jump over the table and tackle him again.
Somebody going to call you Jonathan.
Oh, my brother?
Because your name's John. Your middle name's John.
It is John. Benjamin John.
Yeah.
Benjamin John. Ernie in a bar near Elroy, who said he loves listening to Kyle, continues to rip me on and on and on, which means I love you, Ernie.
I got to read, though.
I think the barn needs a little bit more love and positivity in there because, oof. If I had a barn, I was chilling, I would be more happy to be, chiming in.
He seems happy. He agrees with me. He seems very happy.
Yeah, but you're the one who only becomes happy once we get to hump day on a Wednesday.
Well, it's hump day, or the weekend. He's agreeing with me, so he's probably humping and jumping all around the barn being happy.
Humping and jumping. Humping and jumping.
Yeah, that's what you do in bars, right?
Barns.
Barns. That's what you do in barns.
I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time in a barn.
Yeah, me either.
You guys never turned to a wedding party in the barn?
Oh, good point. A lot of humping and bumping at the weddings at a barn. Now, again, I think it's fun to have this conversation, but it's not fun to have this conversation. I enjoy doing this conversation with you, but the crux of it is both teams aren't doing well. The Packers are 3-6, and the Badgers have lost me to the point where I'd rather build a crib and a baby dresser than watch them get dominated by a Northwestern team that had an offseason in which I don't think any program would ever want to go through. That same program came into Camp Randall and stuffed it right in our face. And so it gets us to a point of, all right, you have Wisconsin football, not in a great place. Wisconsin basketball, 1-2 with a lot of experience, not in a great place thus far. The Green Bay Packers, it's not that they're not in a great place. They're in an unfamiliar place. And when it's unfamiliar, it becomes uncomfortable, especially when you're accustomed to 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback play. The Milwaukee Bucks, they have some weird question marks around this team. The head coach in the situation there, it feels really weird and uncomfortable. You just had the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers choose to go to the Chicago Cubs, the one team that none of us would have ever believed that you'd see a manager of the Milwaukee Brewers go to, especially one that grew up in the city of Whitefish Bay and is a Wisconsinite. Apparently not as much as we thought. Two could be true. He could be doing the right thing for his family. He could also be a traitor. Again, two could be true. Those 5 things leave me and all of us in an uncertain place where it makes me feel uncomfortable. So we will be diving in a State of the Union, hearing from different people across our company, across the state, giving us thoughts to go off of, giving us the State of the Union for each team. Because what's that quote? I wish you knew it was the good old days when you were living in them.
Yes. Well said.
That was the 2010s for me, man.
Oh,
that was the 2010s of Wisconsin sports. That was the 2010s. Brad, despite all those teams, there's one winner that you can count on no matter what.
There's one team that we can always rely on, and that is the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin team. And there's all these things. We can't rely on the Badgers, the Packers, the Brewers, anybody really. And you can't rely on inflation and those costs coming down, skyrocketing prices everywhere. But you can control your energy costs by lowering them, replacing your drafty windows and doors. And Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin can come in right in time to help you lower that cost and have that lower cost be year-round. You can have them installed in as little as 6 weeks, so before the teeth of winter. And you can save even more by taking advantage of a no interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th, so act quick. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
800-990-3776. Matt LaFleur, is he safe no matter what? We'll explore that next. 2 minutes.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Eric Name of The Athletic. You're listening to Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. My name is Colin Russo, and this is your Sports Center update. Brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania. Catch all 7 WIAA State Football Championship games including Lodi in Division 4 and Wanakee in Division 2, this Thursday and Friday on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand. Well, the Green Bay Packers, sitting at 3-6, lost another one this past Sunday to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They scored 23-19. The spread between the top and the bottom of the NFC North is widening as the Detroit Lions sit atop at 7-2. The Packers return home this Sunday to take on the Los Angeles Chargers at Lambeau, 12 p.m. kickoff. To the collegiate level we go as the Wisconsin Badgers continue to plummet as a disastrous season continued this past Saturday, suffering a tough home loss to the Northwestern Wildcats by a score of 24-10. The Badgers, sitting at 5-5, look to respond with some positivity this Saturday night, a night game at Camp Randall against Matt Rule and the 5-5 Nebraska Cornhuskers. That kickoff is at 6:30. Catch myself, Adam Mertz, former Badgers Chris Sohr, and Brad Nortman for ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day pregame, 4:30 this Saturday, directly into kickoff on these very airwaves in Wisconsin On Demand. Don't go anywhere. Second hour of KBN continues on right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison, this is Kyle Broston Nortman, KBN, presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We're going to be having a State of the Union. 414 chimes in, typical of a Wisconsin guy to ignore the best team in the state, which happens to be Marquette. I simply answer, for now. 800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Ben Bruss here alongside Kyle Wallace, the heartbeat of the show. Brad Nortman, 6-time six-year NFL punter. Homeboy Chris running the show. And then when it comes to the Green Bay Packers, growth obviously is more important than wins. But for one person in particular, wins might be more important than growth because job security is always something that people are fighting for in the NFL. And when it comes to Matt LaFleur specifically, Jason Wilde had this to say earlier on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy about, the relationship that he has with Brian Gutekunst and it's how it's bubbling up. Chris, give me a thumbs up if we're good to go.
Gabe, I would say I don't think he is saying it's acceptable. I think he still feels it's unacceptable. I think he's trying to thread a needle where, here's the thing. He's always been, and this is to me a sign of his frustration with this team and the fact that, he's got a way younger roster than he wanted. And I still believe that there's a ton bubbling beneath the surface about the team that he's been given by the general manager who's not his boss, and the frustration of trying to, make chicken salad out of unhatched eggs, because that's kind of what they are, right, offensively. I'm talking all the time about, and you and I were talking about this after the game, Dontavion Wicks and Jaden Reed and how excited and impressed we are with how they have a great feel for the game. But the fact of the matter is, the fact that those two guys with 9 games of NFL experience or whatever they have each are the guys that we're looking at going, those are the two guys we feel most confident in at wide receiver, tells you everything you need to know about where they're at offensively. So I think it starts with a frustration that is bubbling beneath the surface of how difficult it is to get this team to win. And I think LaFleur is frustrated with that. I think he would like some veterans on this team. He doesn't have them. And he's kind of trying to drive without Google Maps in an area that he's not used to driving it.
That Jason Wilde earlier on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Mornings 94.5 ESPN. And immediately Troy and Madison chimes in. Why is it that LaFleur does not go to the Combine? I think Jason Wilde alluded to it, right? There's been a frustration between the relationship that Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst have. And I can see why, right? I've said it. Part of me, although I will get at Matty Mouse LaFleur and do my Matty Mouse voice, but I'll stop that right now, is that Goody gave him a roster that is near impossible to win at a high clip with. And the job of an NFL coach isn't to worry about what the next 3 or 4 years looks like. That is the job of a general manager. Now, it is nice when you find a GM and coach that are able to work together, find that balance, but ultimately, right, you have to make your own decisions as a GM. And when, in this scenario, you have a head coach that like is not built to win. How many wins does this team need to get the last 9 games before it's like he's the fall guy?
Well, all this with Matt LaFleur really got me thinking, right? Because we're hearing this narrative and this thought out there that this is a 2-year project, right? That Goody, LaFleur, and Love, that they're going to take 2 years to try to wade this through and figure out what do they got? What does the future look like? But I don't think it's that easy. And when I look at Matt LaFleur, if there's anybody, in my opinion, that is most likely to be gone as things continue to go to south, if things continue to go south, is Matt LaFleur. I think that Goody is going to be here whether we like it or not, and I think they're going to give Love more opportunities to succeed because he's their guy. They want to see him succeed, but I think Matt LaFleur is the fall guy, and it got me thinking of what's that over-under number? What's that over-under number that he needs to make sure he gets over to protect his job? Guys, I have it at 4.5. 4.5 games.
Not the last 9, but overall?
No, overall. So this team has to have 5 wins or more, 5-12, in order for Matt LaFleur's job to be safe.
Last 8. There's only 8 games left.
And I'm looking at this, so that's 2 wins, and here's why it's 2 wins. They play the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers. Those teams are hopeless and rudderless right now. Those should be automatic victories. If you can't beat both of those games, then you are not just in like the cellar and in a bad position in a rebuild. You are debatably the worst team in the league. And I don't think that's something that the Green Bay Packer faithful want to stomach. And maybe that's an indication of, even though this is a young team, that's too bad. That's way too below standard. So I could see the next 3 games, them not necessarily winning. And Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, those are semi-tough games. They already beat Chicago, so they've got that still feather in their cap. But guys, 4.5 games. Matt LaFleur needs to find a way to go 2-6 or better. It doesn't sound like a high bar, but 2-6 or better with this team isn't necessarily a walk in the park. And if he doesn't do that, guys, I think he's gone. I think he's got to get 2 more wins. And if he's 1-7 down the stretch, 4-13, even in a rebuild that we're being told is a 2-year time frame, I think that whether it's his decision or not, whether it's his decision to be like, you know what, this team is not for me, or it comes down from the top, this team goes 4-13 and they are not a 5-win team or better, therefore the 4.5 over under, I think LaFleur's gone.
Yeah, I don't think he should be. Is it 4.5, 4? If it's under, I'm fine with him actually staying because I don't believe this issue is solely with Matt LaFleur. I think he is part of an overall problem, but I trust that Matt LaFleur can actually see this thing through and actually help this team get better. I think it goes deeper than Matt LaFleur, so that's the reason why I'm not sitting here and going to blame him for everything. I think he has an opportunity. He earned the opportunity to actually stick it out with this team regardless of what the record is for the rest of this season. Christian Watson's dad, I keep going back to it because he said it. He's on the inside. He has the internal conversations, and he said, listen, this team is one of the youngest NFL teams. We talked about that. We talked about the fact that we have one of the youngest receiving corps since the Cleveland Browns went 0-16.
0-16.
And so this is what we're dealing with.
Tight end and receivers.
This is exactly what we have at the skill position. This team wasn't expected to win a lot of games this year internally. What did they do before the season? They tried to temper our expectations to let us know, hey, calm down. There's going to be some development that we're going to have. Now, I know after the Chicago Bears game, guys got overly excited, but they tried to tell us before the season started, this team was going to struggle. And so I will hope this organization, if they wanted to get rid of somebody, it would not be the head football coach that has actually shown you that he is able to win when he has talent, when he has pieces. Now, it's a developmental process. Do these guys have talent? We're going to find out. But to me, Matt LaFleur isn't an issue. And so whether it's above 4 games or under 4 games, if it is under 4.5, I still think he deserves to have an opportunity to come back next season.
You know, whether you think he deserves or not, I think that, like, I tend to agree that it shouldn't be him being the fall guy. But you also had said, like, you know what Matt LaFleur can do with talent. And I think what we're learning is what Matt LaFleur is doing with young talent. And whether or not it's a fair thing that Goody gave him this roster, it hasn't exactly been the easiest thing. You can feel the frustrations that he has boiling over in these press conferences. You can just feel the animosity that LaFleur has for something, right? Like, he's just been chippier this year. He's been on edge this year. And again, part of me doesn't blame him. But the thing is even if he wins 2 games and it's against the Giants and Panthers, like, does that tell you much about Matt LaFleur? Like, he should be able to win 1 more game with a team that's trying to ascend. Now, 800-990-3776. You know, I think we've learned today there are lovers and haters of each of us on the ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. J Love in the 414 with love in his name ties it together. Ben, keep up the LaFraud voice. That's my Matty Mouse voice. Woo-hoo-hoo. He's such a little weenie. Brad, doing a great job. Kyle, liking you more every day. J Love in the 414, I feel the same way. 414 chimes in, getting rid of the head coach after a rebuild when Goody has only supplied him with young draft picks is garbage or sabotage, not Matt LaFleur's fault. I cannot agree more. But Brad, you've talked about this before. In the NFL, you try to gobble up the most power.
That's right.
And Goody and Murphy seem a little bit closer than LaFleur and Murphy. So if old boy thinks that LaFleur isn't the best guy for the rebuild and Goody and Murphy are on the same page, doesn't matter who his boss is.
And I totally appreciate the fact that with some talent, Matt LaFleur was a great coach. I still think he is a good coach. The problem is memories fade quickly in the NFL, right? How many good coaches do you see that were good a couple of years ago get fired? I mean, the turnover in player roster is just as bad as it is when turnovers of head coaches. They turn over like crazy. So the memories go quickly. And I think usually people tell you how they're feeling based on how they're reacting in uncomfortable and uncertain situations. And Matt LaFleur is telling us everything we need to know with snippy, angry, negative. And I don't necessarily think he deserves to be fired, but if this team goes 4-13, there has to be a fall guy, and he's the most likely to be it.
800-990-3776. Derek in Wanakee chimes in. A good coach should be able to at least win one game they are not expected to win. Winning games that you should win doesn't mean anything, and I tend to agree with Derek, the official boy dad of KBN Nation. Let's go to Mike in Menominee Falls.
Boy dad? When we assign somebody as our boy dad?
He assigned himself. I'll give it to him. Mike in Menominee Falls. Welcome into Kyle Brust Nortman.
Hey, Benny. Good to talk to you guys again. But the real problem in this whole thing, everybody talking about beating around the bush. The problem is Gutekunst, period. That guy hated Aaron Rodgers, so he didn't draft anybody of any import in the offense for 5 or 6 years. Now they got nobody there, and it's all because of Gutekunst didn't want to keep Aaron. Why don't we get rid of Gutekunst? He is the problem. LaFleur did well. He's the winningest coach in the first 3 years. And don't let this guy ever draft another player because he passed on J.T. Watt instead of Kevin King. You can go down the list. The guy has got zero acumen to draft quality, aggressive people. You've got an entire defense that doesn't tackle people. How can you have a bunch of defensive players that can't tackle? It's crazy. So anyway, it's Gutekunst is the problem, period.
I like it, Mike, in Menominee Falls. Now, the hard part about that is we've talked about it, and it's one thing where we can't continue to beat our heads with, the bat, and that's Mark Murphy's not going to get rid of Brian Gutekunst before he retires from his presidency in June or July of 2025. And so with that, it's almost like a double-edged sword here, because in one corner, if you don't have Jordan Love become the guy and then you get better draft picks, I think we're all in agreement here that it's a little bit scary that Goody would be the guy utilizing 5 picks in the top 80. And at the same time, it's also like, well, if he gets rid of Matt LaFleur, there's just if they start winning, like, you're kind of in no man's land if Jordan Love is the guy. Like, it's a tough place to be.
And here's the thing about it, is at the end of the day, it's all about talent. Talent in this league is going to win. Brad, you talked about it. You said, hey, we played for, I believe, with Doug Marrone. You didn't think you guys won because of Doug Marrone. You said you won because of the culture that you had there and the talent that you had there. So talent will win despite the coach. That's why the coach is not the issue. The issue is the fact that Brian Gutekunst has not put enough youthful talent on this team that is starting to grow, starting to sprout, that's starting to show their worth, and that is the overall issue. So getting rid of Matt LaFleur doesn't solve the overall issue that you have with evaluating talent that can be stars in the NFL. The Packers continue to swing and miss defensively in the first round. They swing and miss with a lot of guys on offense. You got a guy, Josiah DeGuara, who's right now his role is being diminished with this Green Bay Packers team. And that's
can't even block the guy off the edge on an extra point.
And that's the guy that you used on the 3rd round pick. That should be telling, that should be showing that it cannot be Matt LaFleur. It has to be Goody, because at the end of the day, it is a players' league, and it takes the players to actually make you competitive regardless of who the coach is.
Again, all this is really, really smart things. But Goody ain't going anywhere, and that's the hard part about it is we can scream to the high heavens. I think Mike from Menominee Falls speaks for a lot of KBN Nation when you look at Adam and the Unknown. LaFleur is 50-25. Go ahead, fire him. Get someone else. Not going to be any better because Goody is the problem. Justin in Milwaukee, smartest man to ever call. One wide receiver in the last 3 drafts. See you later, Goody. Again, it's one of those things where if we want to go into the conversation around Goody, it's tough because, like, he's not going to be gone, but the better draft picks you get, he's going to be the guy building the team. It's just such a weird spot to be in right now in Packerland. And that's why we're going to be doing a State of the Union. And that's why when things get tough, there's always something reliable in your freezer if you go to your local grocer's freezer and get that thin and crispy. Get that OG Screamin'. Get that thin and crispy or these 2.5 feet of stuffed crust. I'm stuffed crust pizza. Again, Palermo's, you can find your screaming pleasure with that whole milk mozzarella cheese sourced right here in Wisconsin, the secret tomato recipe sauce, and I like that we did the choir last time. So first thing you need to do is you haven't tried screaming, you got to look for the Bessie's Revenge, which is the cheese, the Holy Pepperoni, which clearly speaks for itself, the Mother of Meat, the Boss Hog, the Supremus Maximus, the Mambo Italiano. Mambo. So good. Yes, I'm so proud of us. Find your screaming pleasure in your local grocer's freezer. I'm not going to lie. This is one of my favorite segments of the week. Hear Brad out. Next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
So I'll say that, man. Mark Chmura, every time I see him in the morning, get my coffee, I walk right by here, and I look at him, I'm like, man, that's a handsome dude.
I thought you got to cull up with him, too, huh?
I'd love to. I feel like I'd fit right in. You know, he's 6'6", you know, I'd be the little spoon with you.
Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
If you want a fresh twist on surf and turf, look no further than North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Inspired by their time living in the Alaskan Gulf in southern Texas, owners Keith and Aaron brought together unique culinary backgrounds to create a truly authentic American restaurant here in Madison. After expanding to 2 more locations in DeForest and Verona, you can savor smoky, wood-fired barbecue and freshly prepared seafood from around the country. Explore their full menu and dining options at eatnorthandsouth.com. That's eatnorthandsouth.com.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely gonna need a cold one. There's the one. Holiday season is in full effect, and that means it's time to grab some Shiner beer. We're checking in with Shiner's Mike Lubke, and he's here to help spread the word about Shiner's seasonal special and one of my favorites, the Shiner Holiday Cheer.
This beer is a little unique. I would call it kind of a Texas holiday beer, if you will. Kind of an old world Dunkelweizen, which is dark wheat for those that want that translated from German to English. Brewed with Texas peaches and some roasted pecans in there as well. What I recommend, it pairs really well with roasted pork and sausage. And then if you're looking on the sweet tooth side of things, banana cream pie of all things.
Find your Shiner Holiday Cheer at your local Woodman's, Festivals, Total Wines, and more. Especially now that it's holiday season, you better make sure that fridge is always stocked.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
The state championships play here.
See you later! 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Intercepted, deflected, off the receiver's hands.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania, home of all 7 state football championships.
To the 5, to the end zone, touchdown, put 3 on my stat.
Put some respect on his name.
Thursday and Friday on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
You're not a big drinker? Not really, no. But you do like the gummies. Well, remember, I went to a boarding school in upstate New York. I mean, geez, you don't think I'm going to get high once in a while?
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
You love the theory, Chris, that old men love to be naked.
They do. In public. In public. I think you reach an age where you're just like, I don't care, bro.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe. Live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And available wherever you get your podcasts.
Rustin Norman across ESPN Wisconsin, presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light. We do this every Wednesday around 3:15. I'll be nice. It's one of my favorite segments until it's not, but it still is right now. Let's hear Brad out.
They say punters are people too.
Punters are worthy of breaking news.
No, really, that's what they say.
Raising awareness everywhere that punters are people too.
Okay, let's go to it. Time to hear from the punter. Time to hear Brad out.
Gentlemen, we touch on a lot of different topics in this segment, right? We talk about sports, we talk about life, we try to solve the world's problems. And this is a very sensitive subject. I feel like I'm Will Smith, and this is a very sensitive subject. What I'm going to try to do today, I'm trying to solve the problem and answer the question, when is it okay to put up Christmas decorations and start the Christmas milestones? Because right around now, they're starting to come out, and people get some reaction from this. Hey, it's too early, it's too late, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try to create some clarity on when you can do certain things. I'm going to give a little bit of an explanation why. Here we go. Outdoor lights. When can you put out outdoor lights in front of your house, the Christmas lights? You can do that 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Here's why. And there's going to be another one, too, where that falls into this category. The time it takes to put these out needs to be offset by the usage time, right? It takes time to go out there and put your Christmas lights up. You want to do that before it gets too cold. And honestly, it's probably one of the things that is most appreciated in a neighborhood is the Christmas lights out. So you have the license to put your Christmas lights out 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, right? So you are currently in the green light section of that. The second one that is also allowed to be put up 2 weeks before, this one might be a little bit triggering, but it's also recent case situation
you
here.
Say tree.
The tree. The tree should go, not that you have to, but you should not get mad at someone that does. You should allow it. You are in the green light zone of 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, putting up the tree. Same reason why. One, it doesn't take away from Thanksgiving. It takes a lot of time, a lot of logistics. Go get the tree, put the tree up, put ornaments on. It is a long process. That needs to be offset by the usage. If you're going to wait till after Thanksgiving, that's not nearly enough time for all the time it takes to put it up there. Now, small decor, the little Santas that kind of rolling around the house, small trees, stockings, that's Black Friday. Black Friday, you go for it. You put all those little guys as much as you want. We're going to keep just the main things 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Music, this is another one. Music is very, very triggering for some people. Music is also as early as you want on Black Friday, not before Thanksgiving. I feel like when the little knickknacks come out and music come out, then it's fully in the swing of Christmas season. These big things, you should be allowed to grab that earlier, like the Nortmans did. We didn't do this last year, but this year I put the tree up early, our beautiful $50 tree, and darn it, I'm so glad that we did. And finally, shopping. Shopping, you should do whatever you dang well please, but you are not allowed to shop on Christmas Eve. Because Christmas Eve is too late, and you need to enjoy those 2 days with your
I get
family.
a rush out of shopping on Christmas Eve. Don't target me out in here, Brad.
I'm going to call you out. That should not
But you didn't.
be allowed.
You didn't call me out.
That is a red light. That is a red light on shopping on the 24th. So just to recap, outdoor lights and tree, 2 weekends before Thanksgiving. The green light is up for you to do that. You shouldn't be judged for it. small decor, music, Black Friday. Go for it then. You are fully in Christmas season, shopping as early as you want. Get all those deals, not the 24th. That is the Hear Brad Out on when all these different Christmas milestones should come into full swing.
Kyle, it's always you.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm not going to debate you on this too hard because you know what? I'm becoming more open-minded to the Christmas tree going up early. I just don't want you to start to put stuff on social media and Snapchat and the Instagram and Facebook with all this Christmas tree and holiday cheer quite yet. I am a firm believer that Christmas spirit and holiday begins Black Friday, literally the day after Thanksgiving, 12:01 on Black Friday is when you can start celebrating everything. But before that, I don't want to see your Christmas tree. I don't want to see your Christmas lights. I don't want to hear your Christmas music. All of that begins after Thanksgiving. Let Thanksgiving have its time. You know, because where would we be if it wasn't for the Pilgrims?
So you're saying it
where would we be?
It takes away from Thanksgiving.
Won't he do it? Yeah, well, I mean, the natives may not believe the same thing. But, I mean, where would we be?
So, Kyle, once again, you and I just have the right takes, and Brad's got the wrong takes.
I love it.
The only thing that Brad has right is because of the manual labor that goes into putting up lights. I'm fine if you start putting those things up before Thanksgiving. But 12:01 after Thanksgiving, all things go.
Plug it in.
Oh, yeah. Clark Griswold, light it up, baby. Light it up after Thanksgiving. I'm taking a tinkle the other day, and there's Christmas music playing, and it was like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, what the hell is going on over here?
So
we just got out of Halloween.
But wait, we're closer than you think then, because I'm in agreement with that. Tree and lights. Let's focus on that. So that's
now
really
get
where
the
we're
tree
not.
out of here.
The tree takes so much time. That's logistics and planning and ordinance.
I got a question.
It's going to take time
I got a
to put
question
it up.
for him. How long did it take you to do the tree? It took you
specifically
0 days to do the tree.
What about
it took her 1 day to do the tree.
All members of our household together. Then it took some time, and you want to be able to enjoy that.
They say.
No, Chris. No.
Oh, this is too soon.
Why are you doing this?
I said this is not allowed.
Kyle, why are you dancing?
If I hear the song, I got to dance to it. Come on now.
That equals your
JD from
endorsement.
Fondy chimes in. I totally agree. Lights go up before, but not turned on.
No.
And I like it.
Oh, you like, turn them on?
No, that's what Kyle and I were saying.
You plug
put
it
them up,
in.
and then Clark Griswold.
Here's the thing. I want to do something for you, Brad. I want to start a new tradition.
Kyle, this song is like Kyle's lip smacking. Please get it off.
I like this song. I want to do something for you, Brad Newman. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm sorry, Nortman.
Yeah.
Newman. I want to do something. I'm going to start a new tradition for you all. You know what you're going to do? On the day after Thanksgiving at 12:01 a.m., what you're going to do is you guys are going to go outside. You're going to look at your beautiful house. You're going to do the plug-in. You're going to do the Clark Griswold.
New Nortman tradition.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
it.
You plug it in and y'all get to look at it, get to celebrate. And then after that, what you do, you go in the house and you go grab that $50 tree from upstairs, that ugly tree that you have from downstairs.
That crackhead tree.
That crackhead tree. You let Lexi turn it into a beautiful, beautiful tree. That's what you should do.
In which Kyle's #1 fan, Diana McGuanago, is asking to see the tree because she's only seen the scary-looking tree.
Yeah, it's a
maybe
beautiful
post
tree.
out the transformed picture.
You know
of
what?
it.
Before and after would do you a good service to show off how great your wife is and how pathetic you are.
We'll show it off. We'll show it off in the break.
And so I want to make sure that you all start a brand new tradition in your household where you get to celebrate Thanksgiving and then also you get to welcome in Christmas all within the same time.
See, I guess that's where I disagree. I don't think that, first of all, if I'm going to take the time to put that all up, I want to be able to enjoy it as long as possible. And I don't think it takes away from Thanksgiving. Now, I'm not talking about a completely North Pole style home, but we're just talking about a couple small. Well, it's a bigger item.
The tree
but they're
is
not
the
overwhelming.
item.
But they're not overwhelming.
The tree
you can
is
still
the
have
item.
a pleasant Christmas and the tree up in the corner.
I just think it's odd to go to somebody's house on Thanksgiving and have a Christmas tree up during Thanksgiving. It just doesn't feel right to me. I feel like
I'm with Kyle again.
the tree should be up
we are becoming the moral compass of the show.
We are.
We're trying to educate Brad on the right ways to live
I
life.
tried to tell you not to get the $50 tree, but you get
This
it.
is turned into
I'm
hear.
just
This
saying.
is turned into hear Brad out, and then Kyle and Ben tell him why he's wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, Brad, I like you, But you
don't say that.
No.
Do not say
I
that.
can't get behind that because he did the "I like you" to me earlier too, and I know how
it's cutting. It hurts.
It's like a twist.
It is.
It's like stab twist.
And the way he like looks at you when he says it, it's like with such pity.
But I do.
No,
like
stop.
I just don't like the idea.
Well, it's time to go to MilwaukeeBroadhouse.com and GolfWanakee.com and use code ESPN23 for 10% off your total purchase. I'll be up bright and early, boys, this Sunday to get to the buses at Milwaukee Broadhouse to head up to the Green Bay game up there, and I cannot wait to get to the Milwaukee Broadhouse, go through the line, very quick, easy process, get my badge, know what bus I'm on, get the all-you-can-drink and eat package for the bar at Holmgren Way.
You said all-you-can-drink and eat?
Oh, yeah, baby. Make your game day a VIP experience with the official ride to Green Bay. I'll be taking the buses up for this Sunday's game. Ooh, and we'll see our guy Brian Balaga up there. Kyle, I know you got a vacation, but again, GolfWanakee.com, MilwaukeeBroadhouse.com. Use code ESPN23 for 10% off your total purchase. Rob Domofsky of ESPN. He usually has some opinions about Hear Brad Out. He's next.
This is Kyle Broston Nortman, presented by Bud Light.
It is the 414 hour at 4.
No.
All right, Kyle, take it away.
If you're going to say it, you got to say it right. It's the 414 hour at 4.
Okay, so how am I supposed to say that?
Four. No, come on.
All right.
Four. 1. 4.
It's the 414 hour at 4.
Come on, they're going to have some swag
No way. I can't do that every day.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust here for Legacy Exteriors. Make sure you give them a call, 608-221-3000, for all of your exterior needs, because they are the best in Dane County. Roofing, windows, gutters, siding, and decks. Can Legacy do it? You bet. They now offer 4-season sunrooms as well. If you're looking for an improvement on your home, whether it's the exteriors or something to enjoy all year long, Legacy Exteriors has it all for you. Legacy-exteriors.com or give them a call, 608-221-3000.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Car and Driver calls Honda the winningest brand in 10 Best history. Your kids will call it totally lit. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the incredifantabulous deals, so see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Stacy Bruner from Bruner Realty. People have been telling me that buying a home is nothing to joke about, so instead of telling you another real estate joke, I'm going to have somebody else do it.
Jesse Nelson here. Why did the house go see its doctor? It had a window pane.
Come on, Jesse, this is no laughing matter.
Well, when it's time to get serious about buying or selling, that's when people should do what we did and work with you.
Contact us at BrunerRealtyInc.com. Bruner Realty, homes to appreciate.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
With the holiday season just around the corner, it's important to find that perfect gift for your loved one. Jim Rutledge here for Chalmers Jewelers, my go-to destination for holiday gifts. Their stunning jewelry never fails to impress, better yet, it's custom, made by the great jewelers at Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. So whether you want to treat someone special in your life or treat yourself, go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Prize Picks, the most fun I've had, winning up to 25x on my money during the football season, and now I get to play during the basketball season as well. You get to select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and you just place an entry. Pretty simple. And now you get to pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League, a league created specifically for combo projections that includes 2 or more players from different sports or leagues. So for me, I'm going to go Jordan Love, and then I'll go Giannis and Dalla Dame. If I want to go 3-pointers made, rushing touchdowns, can do it. Prize Picks is that simple to play. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app.
Go to prizepicks.com/WI and use code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/WI, code WI.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle Brust and Norman across ESPN Wisconsin, presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light. I'm Ben Brust alongside Kyle Wallace, who gets a little more energized on a Wednesday. Brad Nortman, 6-year NFL punter, with us as well. And joining us now is Rob Demovsky of ESPN. Rob, welcome into Kyle Brust and Nortman.
How are you?
We're doing well, and as per usual, it is a Wednesday, and at 3:15, we hear our guy Brad Nortman out. And I'll summarize quickly. You let me know where you agree or disagree.
Okay.
Lights are okay to go up 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
Exterior lights.
Tree is able to.
We're talking Christmas holiday lights.
Correct. Yeah. Lights are okay. Exterior 2 weeks before. Tree is okay 2 weeks before. Music is okay Black Friday and beyond. You can shop whenever you'd like for Christmas. Am I missing anything else?
Small decor, also after Black Friday. Shopping on Christmas Eve should be banned.
Okay, I'm going to start backwards with this. When I was in high school, or no, not high school, because I wasn't buying any Christmas gifts in high school. When I was in college and shortly after college, I thought it was awesome to wait till Christmas Eve to literally try to get it all done. We don't have a huge...
Rob, we're running the same. Now, I Christmas shop on Christmas Eve. Now, putting everything up is a lot.
I don't have a big family. I have one brother, and I have no first cousins. So it's a small gathering. Maybe if I was lucky enough to have a girlfriend at that time, there was a girlfriend gift. But it was a challenge, man. I'm doing it all on Christmas Eve, and it was just going to get done. I agree with the Black Friday music. It's fine. Here's the thing with the tree, though. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, we are now the real tree people. I don't like the fake tree. Is the real tree going to last that long if you buy it 2 weeks before Thanksgiving?
Brad got new carpet, so he had to go artificial.
Yeah, okay, fine. And you can do whatever you want with
He bought a $50
He bought a $50 tree
off of
that
Facebook
he was like,
Marketplace.
oh, the 10-footers are artificial. They're like $500. Let's just say my man drove to Grafton, and this thing looked like he had never seen water if it was a real tree.
And I'm okay with you putting the lights up 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, before the weather's bad. Just don't turn them on.
Yes.
You just say
Thank you, Rob. Rob gets it. Brad doesn't. Now, moving forward to the Green Bay Packers, Rob, I'm sure you have discussed this with other shows, but I want to dive deeper because I think what Matt LaFleur talked about on the podium, not specifically whether it was at Jason Wilde or not, about the stupid nickel and defensive end versus linebacker, how many are down line in the box. It is a horrible look for the head coach after getting demolished by a average run offense to put up 200 yards on your defense to then go out there and get into a semantics battle about what you're seeing on the internet, likely from people putting up damn videos. What the hell is he focused on?
Well, and I think the last part of it is probably where he's wanted to, he's tired of the internet film gurus. But you're right. If you're letting that affect you, why? You got much bigger fish to fry there. I also think it's just not a great look. Move on to how you're going to fix it rather than, that kind of stuff. How many times have we heard, well, if we knew how to fix it, we wouldn't have done it kind of thing. Well, your job's to figure it out. And if you didn't figure it out last week, say, you know what? You can defend what you did all you want, but you still gave up 205 yards. You're still the only rushing. You're the only team in the league that has allowed 3 200-yard rushing games. Do you know how many? I asked our stats people this today because I'm working on something on the run defense. Do you know how many 200-yard games there have been in the NFL?
Oh no,
Miami's had at least one. Probably total of 6.
I'm going to read you what I inquired with ESPN stats and info.
Cool.
For rush defense, they've allowed 200 yards in 3 games, most of the NFL. All the other teams have combined to do it 13 times.
Oh,
that's it. Now 6 was really low, Kyle. But,
I was trying to see how bad the Packers defense was.
Yeah, right. So there's been 16 200-yard rushing games this season. If I'm reading this right, and 3 of them are by the Packers. 3 out of 16 is what? Just about under 20, about 20% or so. It's about what the Badgers are shooting from 3-point range now. Did I say that out loud?
You did it, and it's the truth. Whether they're shooting or not, I just want to see someone with some fight, Rob. Give me some fight. Give me that DePere basketball fight.
Yeah, well, high school practice started Monday, and we're ready to defend the state title. My older one's 2 games into his college career, so it's basketball season. Forget football. Let's talk.
Oh, wait a minute. Where does your kid play basketball at now? You ain't got to share all that, but look at that. You got a D1 college basketball player?
D3, he's playing at Lawrence University, D3.
Cool.
Starting as a freshman, big one against St. Norbert right here in town tomorrow night. So
I just want you to know that I actually am no fan of DePere because you guys actually ended the high school career, and I don't like how when people end high school careers, of my little cousin who played at Rufus King last year. So, now we have a little animosity between us two.
Oh, that was an interesting game. Which one was your cousin?
He was the best player on King, the tallest guy, number 0.
Oh, the kid going to South Dakota State.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah,
okay.
Him.
Did you also know, Rob, that Brad Nortman at Brookfield Central?
Yes, sir.
Ended Kyle Wallace's high school career as Kyle was on the sideline with torn ACL.
Cool.
Wow. Well, as an aside, one of the King kids during that regional final game told me to shut up.
I can assure you it was not my cousin. He is too soft.
It was not. No, it was not. He's a nice kid, and he had his hands full with our big guy. I think we won 81-30.
Okay. All right. On to the next question. All right.
Rob, my dad went to Lawrence University, so I love hearing that the basketball team is in good hands. Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
So, question for you, Rob. Why isn't the Watson-Love connection working?
Okay, so I'm glad, Brad, that you brought that up because that was a huge topic today in the locker room. Christian, to his credit, talked for like 20 minutes. He answered all the questions. And the thing I liked about it is
his dad in his ear?
Well, no, he did address that. And he like most guys says, he tries to block all that stuff out. I don't, the dad thing's a whole other story. But here's what I liked about Christian is he's not shying away from taking responsibility for it. And this kind of goes back to what you were talking about LaFleur earlier, rather than being combative about it. He said at some point it's going to click. It's just tough mentally knowing it hasn't happened yet. To me, he's owning it, right? He's not one of them. To me, that's the first step toward trying to fix it is admitting that, there is an issue there. And for Love's part, he said what he's supposed to say. I have complete trust in him. My message is just don't let any of that other stuff make your confidence waver. The interesting thing is I think the other stuff he might have been talking about his dad, who, as we know, played in the NFL and actually was drafted by the Packers. It was a big story, when he got drafted a year and a half ago. But at least they're addressing it and they're conscious of it. I go back to exactly what a scout from another team told me on draft night when they picked Watson in the second round. I got a text from a scout from another team who I talk to fairly regularly right after the Packers picked him, and I've said this on the radio before. The quote was, "We would have really liked him if he could catch the ball."
Oh, come on.
That was the quote. Oof. That's what we knew that coming into the league, right?
His first play was representative of that.
Yeah. And then last week he dropped one right in his hands. It's actually I'm rubbing my eyes out of disappointment because it just makes me just
you just ruined Kyle's Wednesday, Rob.
No,
way to go.
Because we're talking about today about oh, if Matt LaFleur, if he wins 4.5 games or under, will he get fired? And to me, it's just like, it doesn't matter what Matt LaFleur does. If you don't have talent, you don't have talent. You've seen coaches in the NFL win, even though they're not good coaches, because they have talented rosters. If the guy in charge is drafting guys that scouts say he would be great if he could catch the football, and we drafted him in the second round, and what has he failed to do? Catch the football? That is very frustrating as a fan to know that Goody is still going to have an opportunity to be with this team. Tell me why Goody won't get fired.
He's not going to be let go. I know you should ask this every week, but he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he won't get fired because Mark Murphy believes in him. Said that repeatedly over and over. I do want to follow up on the Watson drop. I just looked at our stats page here. That drop against the Steelers was, by our grades, and I don't do it, but we have people back in Bristol, Connecticut who do. That was his first drop of the season. So, and then the comments. The comments from the scout. Look, that's one team's opinion of him. It's not even one team. One scout from one team's opinion of him. But it was a problem. It was an issue. I do think that maybe the bigger issue isn't necessarily what he did in college. Maybe it's where he did it. And Jen brought this up on Jen, Chewy, and Gabe early in the season. You look at where their receivers are from, they're mostly small school guys. And,
yeah, we've been through it. It's very true. And the one that's been most productive is the guy who played in the Big Ten, Jaden Reed.
No, the two, because
I guess Dontavian Wicks
is Virginia?
Virginia.
Yeah. So, and we know he drafts, look at the defense. They draft guys from they just draft everyone from Georgia, I guess. But they draft big school guys. And I'm not saying you can't. Look, I'm a mid-major guy myself. I was around. I went to Ohio U, love the MAC. But let's face it, not many of those guys are prepared for this. And maybe that's what Goody should look at, maybe more than individual talent and what the stopwatch says, and what the size and strength and speed and all that says.
Fair or not fair, I mean, it is a possibility that Matt LaFleur becomes the fall guy because Goody and Murphy are that close. Fair?
Well, that's the thing. You wonder, behind closed doors, who's got Murphy's ear?
Who do you think?
Goody. It's Goody's guy.
I want to hear what you say, Ryan.
I think it's Goody for a couple reasons. One, inherently, as the job of general manager, you're in the office more, right? You're around more, and you have more time during the season to, play politics in the office. That's just part of the job of general manager. So I think that's part of it. I also think that, Murphy's first hire was Goody, second hire was LaFleur, and even though Goody has no authority over LaFleur, I'm guessing that Murphy considers him to be more management and LaFleur not to be in that role. So there's just some natural alignments there, I think.
Goody's been there forever as well.
Yeah, I think it's part of the problem of this structure, to be honest with you, is that the GM, the GM provides the players for the coach, but he's not the coach's boss. That part of it's a little odd.
Well, Rob, I'm running behind. I did a bad clock today, but we enjoyed your insight. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next week, all right?
All right, sounds good. Have a good week, guys.
Rob Domofsky of ESPN. Got to give a shout-out to the Princeton Club. Check it out. A great time for you to join because they're always updating the facility, so you have the best stuff no matter what. Free childcare at the membership, open 24/7. Start investing in your health now before the zoo comes in when it's like, oh, New Year's resolution. Get ahead of that. Be better than that. You have an opportunity to do so with the Princeton Club. Again, I do personal training. You can find your passion. Princeton Club. Find it for a better tomorrow. Rutledge and Hamilton, join us next for a little crosstalk before they take over from 4 to 6 in Madison.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Is this like a KBN or is it like individual picture per page?
No, I was hoping
this is going to change the
No,
price.
It's like a calendar. You got your own page.
Okay,
Your own page, okay.
Own page is one thing. I can do that. But if I got to be nude, taking multiple pictures for an hour, next to y'all swinging and laying all over the place, I don't think I want.
Presented by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts.